right, CHOOMS, we are in the newest update for Cyberpunk 2077. Should have gone live. I'm going to jump in here and play around in Night City as I normally do. I've been doing a lot of off-stream time with Cyberpunk 2077. But CD Projekt RED announced that they would be doing, and have done, an update for the PlayStation 5 Pro. I was not going to update my PlayStation 5. It was doing just fine. But I did say in future previous streams that if CD Projekt RED announced that they were doing a PlayStation 5 Pro update, then I would be all over it. And lo and behold, they have done just that. Welcome. Dried Moss here. We're going to be back in Night City. We're going to be here for, I'd say, about an hour, maybe an hour and a half. We're going to be just looking at the fresh shine that CD Projekt RED has put into Cyberpunk 2077. Free at no charge. It's one of those companies that are willing to give you things for free for a game that you already own, that don't ask any more from you. They're just making you happy in the space that you're playing in. And it's the dedication, the continued dedication of CD Projekt RED that I applaud, that I appreciate. I know that they're doing their due diligence to let Cyberpunk 2077 be as best as it can be. I did watch a slight preview from Digital Foundry. Digital Foundry, amongst others, have helped educate me on what some of these graphic settings kind of do. Again, I don't know what PSSR stands for. It's a PlayStation something resolution. I know that there's a PSSR 2 because of Digital Foundry. I kind of have variable refresh rate. I don't think I have a TV that can do that. I haven't even checked. I'm just jumping in here because I noticed that the update had gone live, and I think this was yesterday that it went live. So I'm excited to jump in and see what's different here in Night City. Again, Cyberpunk 2077. I say again as if maybe this is the first video you've ever watched of me playing Cyberpunk 2077. It is my favorite game of all time. I love hanging out in Night City. I love just living in that place, returning to it regularly. And it has been an absolute pleasure to see CD Projekt RED giving us more and more and more to keep the game relevant. So great effort, continuing effort. Really looking forward to Cyberpunk Orion. Looking forward to The Witcher 4. Full confession, I have not finished a Witcher game. Not a single one. I've played the most of Witcher 3. I think I made it to Skellige Island. I really, though, love Go On Board, a board game company out of Poland, where CD Projekt RED is also out of, has done a collaboration with CD Projekt RED, and they have made a Witcher board game, The Witcher Old World. They've completed funding, and now they're in the production stages, early manufacturing for The Witcher Legacy game, a massive extension. I say extension, but a massive narrative game with legacy components, legacy format. And Go On Board also made a CD Projekt RED collaboration game for Cyberpunk 2077, which should deliver end of 2026, probably early 2027. Now the year that it actually gets in the on the front porch and on my table, there's a 7 in it, so I guess I'm happy about that. So lots of stuff to enjoy. Dedication by the teams in Poland are great. CD Projekt RED, Go On Board. I hope nothing but the best for those guys. So let's jump in. I have not tried this out yet, so this will be the first time. I hope that 2.31 is the update. I could go over here on R3. Actually, 2.3 was the previous one. I don't know if they're going to show us. Yeah, did you know that we did another patch? Let's go into settings first, and let's see if we can look at the graphic settings. Okay, so yes, there is film grain. There's a resolution scaling PSSR or Fidelity Super Resolution 2.1. I didn't even know that this was a thing. AMD Fidelity Super Resolution 2.1 or PSSR. So this is PlayStation's specific thing, and I do have PSSR enabled on the console. What mode? Normally when I go to graphics, I have a performance mode or... Oh, here it is. Sorry. Video. All right. HDR mode. I'm not going to use it. So I have ray tracing. I have ray tracing Pro. So performance prioritizes maximum smoothness and targets 60 frames per second at higher resolution, up to 90 frames per second on variable refresh rate, which I don't have a variable refresh rate display. Ray tracing enables ray trace lighting and targets a stable 60 frames per second. Ray Tracing Pro enables superior ray trace lighting, optimized for displays with high refresh rate, targeting 40 frames per second. If your display does not support high frame rate, it targets 30 frames per second instead. All right, I'm going to try Ray Tracing Pro. So let's go with that one. Graphics will keep PSSR. I don't know what other differences. I think it's just a graphics update. What I would have liked to have seen is... Okay, I'm going to be looking at this. I don't think it is, but we're going to try it. We'll see what water reflections look like. I know there's still screen space reflection probably going on. I don't think we get all the bells and whistles that PC players. There's no path tracing going on here. I bet, and it was repeated by the guys over at Digital Foundry, I bet they're going to do a PlayStation 6 update for Cyberpunk 2077 as well. And we might get that maybe a year or two before we get Cyberpunk Orion. Whew, it's going to be a good couple years, guys. A good couple years. All right, let's switch over here to the game. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and just continue a game. Really excited for Cyberpunk Orion. Really, really excited.
The crash site is now being restricted.
The frame rate looks pretty good. What I'm looking for, frame rate's not bad. I think I have a decent refresh rate for my my display. Why? Hold on a second.
Finger on the trigger.
I'm gonna turn down the music. Here. All right, let's pull in here. Whoa, 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 girl. Whew. Pull some music there. All right, so there should be, we're gonna just look at some of the lighting differences. Now, from what I understand is that lighting will be sharp up next to me. There's some weird, oh, it might be just because I'm turning sideways. And it diffuses at a distance. Sharper, closer, diffused further. And I'm getting some... I think I'm going to have to just go back and forth, sort of like Digital Foundry does. Because the lighting, whether or not it was baked in or if it was screen space reflections, it was still good before I got to this. Now, I don't know if the shadow casting here is different. I mean, Cyberpunk 2077 has always been a really well a beautiful game. And I know that Digital Foundry has stated that they were hoping for more. I think my biggest thing, and it's probably a very limited understanding of ray tracing, my desire for ray tracing is to have reflections continuous, even when you're looking down and the object that it's reflecting is not on screen. So screen space reflection and planar reflection. Hello, Muffin. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. My understanding of ray tracing is true reflections that don't require you to be looking at the object. So I may be getting my first water reflection. So like when I look down here, I think I'm still getting reflections from the building up ahead, and it's not. It's like when I look up and down and then I come over here, those reflections aren't disappearing. It could also just be a combination of things. Alright, so we have this large building right here. Now when I look down and I'm not looking at the building anymore, oh, we actually do have good reflections here. Like, I've so many times looked down at the water, and the way that I look down, the reflections go away. But they're actually persistent now. I don't know a lot about graphical descriptions. I know a little bit about reflections. And again, my experience in games, for the most part, has been screen space reflections and planar reflections. Planar reflections are, they essentially duplicate the model under the surface that's being reflected. So they just make another model there. Screen space reflections is whatever is on screen will be reflected. But once you look away from it, like if I pan down here, all the reflections in the water would disappear. But you can see up there, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, we can see right up above here that there's still reflections going on for the building, which I've never gotten before. And it's awesome to be getting it in Cyberpunk 2077. That's pretty cool. This is one of the reasons why I was hoping that upgrading to a PlayStation 5 Pro would be worth it. So now I'm really excited to start exploring Night City again. I'm going to have to start a brand new playthrough just so I can enjoy this. And the frame rate is pretty good. I think we might be at the 40 frames per second. I guess I do have a high refresh rate display because it looks good. Like I would want to go into Dogtown because I hear there's a lot of stuff being pushed in that direction. Look at that. I can see reflections as if they were actually reflecting. I'm happy. I'm a happy cat. And I actually, for the first time, will be able to play Cyberpunk 2077 with some more natural lighting. For the first time ever, Dried Moss will experience Cyberpunk 2077 with some of its most delicious icing. Yeah, and this is icing. The game isn't different. There's not new gameplay content, but yeah. I think I might also want to try and look at what variable refresh rate looks like. So I'll go try and do an upgrade to my TV. Maybe get a bigger TV. Alright, so good choice. Good choice for this upgrade. Yep, it's doing actual ray tracing on water reflections, which there is a ray tracing mode in the PlayStation 5. Oh wow, I've got a barrier here. There is ray tracing in the PlayStation 5, but there was only screen space reflections on the water. But now we're getting more. Yeah, this looks good. Now I thought, oh, look at that. It's like I'm in a different world, guys. Before I would not be able to see reflections of anything in the water if I wasn't looking at it. That is cool. All these bells and whistles that PC players have probably been so used to all these years. And I'm a dedicated console player. I could go buy myself a PC, but I have a PC, I have a laptop. It probably runs ray tracing ultra at 30 frames per second, but I didn't want to play at that. But it's a laptop, so it doesn't outperform your desktop equivalents. Very, very nice so far. Alright, let's go down to maybe make our way over to Dogtown. What you're saying is you're having fun. I mean, I've always had fun. Now I can have fun while licking the icing off of this cake. Get out of my way, I'm crossing the street here. Yeah, my frame rate feels good. Frame rate feels really good. I mean, 40 frames per second is probably what it's pushing right now. If anyone's ever had a car that they've been driving for decades, say, and the paint job just kind of starts to fade away. See what I did there? And then you go in and you get a fresh paint job done. That's what this feels like. What I'd also have liked to have seen would be higher resolutions on the displays, because I feel like PC players get extremely high resolutions on like billboards, advertisements, magazines. Everything has a really, really high resolution. All right, we're gonna head towards Corpo Plaza. I'd really like to go into the record store, which I think we're coming up on here. Yeah, I think that should be it right there. Yeah, Time Machine. That's got some really cool lights on the ceiling. It's got an awesome parking space right next to it. Alright, this should be good enough. Oh, maybe we don't want to park here because it's in front of a... Let's put our weapon away. Oh, look at that, y'all! It's reflecting everything and I don't have to have it on screen space. That's pretty cool. Now, it should be reflecting V, but nothing reflects V unless you click on the, like, a mirror and it actually reflects. Yep. Look at that. That is... I'm seeing Night City in an entirely new way. Alright, so when I open this door, this is a record shop, and it's got these really cool lights on the top of it. Now that should illuminate, I would think, the stuff on the floor with the same color. I'm seeing a little bit of reflection there. Okay, I'm not quite seeing it, but those might not be like high intensity lights that would actually reflect on the ground. There's still, okay, there's still some screen space reflection right here, So I'm looking at this light. It should illuminate the surface, but as you see, I look down. Now that light disappears. So that is screen space reflection. I am getting some light off of the piano. I don't know if that is actual ray tracing. I'm gonna have to play around with all these different things that I see. Now you can see these lights up here are giving me good reflection, but again, this could be baked in, y'all. But I know that water reflection wasn't baked in. That was true ray tracing, which I did not get from the PlayStation 5, the base PlayStation 5. I'd really like to be able to pick up these guitars, play them, see which one I want, buy it, and then take it back. I'm curious what path tracing would look like with these lasers.
What can I do for you?
What does she got? What does she got? What's this one? Us Cracks Baby. Wait. Have I heard Baby before? See, it would be cool if I could take these records, take them back to my apartment, and actually play them. Which I don't think is a thing, but now I want to buy them all, just so that I have possession of them. Alright, let's buy them all. Buy. Buy. Just one. Just one. Just one. One of each. Didn't I already buy this? Nope. Dun 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 dun. Bow 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 bow. Bow 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 bow. Bow bow. I would also like to see in Cyberpunk Orion each of these objects that we collect be 3D. You know what? I'm gonna buy these guitars as well. I'm in a good mood here. I'm in a shopping spree kind of mood. Alright, there we go. We pretty much spent about 20 grand in here. Well done for me. I hope you appreciate my patronage. I do like your haircut, by the way. Oh, actually, the lighting on her face looks really good. Oh, 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 calm. Yeah, the lighting on the face looks really good. Ray tracing is amazing. I like the light on your face, madam. Alright, it's nice talking to you. Alright, if I look down... Yeah, see how we've got... Okay, we've got screen space reflection here. Yeah, I'm not sure why they choose to do screen space reflection proper. So if we look up here, this this light source right here is being reflected in the floor, it looks like. Yeah, right there. So you see just here. You see down below, if I can point out, I'll move my screen here. Alright, I'm going to put my picture right here in the middle. Now, this guy up here is putting light down on the surface here below, and it changes with that up here. Okay, up there, light down there. Up here, light down there. Now, if I look down, that should continue. It does not. So now I'm getting just baked in reflections, and I'm not getting what would normally be screen space reflections. Now I'm getting screen space reflections. So while there is ray tracing, it's probably not some of the advanced ray tracing features that PC gets, but it's giving me an upgrade. See, I've got this is screen space. This is ray tracing. I'm getting ray tracing in different areas, but not everywhere that it could be. See if I think, see, you get a little bake in right there. So let's try to do something here. Okay, so if we go over here, that's screen. All right, so screen space reflection is still happening. I'm telling, I can see a little bit of a difference. Here would be another example. All right, so here's another example of screen space reflections. Is here to my left, this way. Here, let me put my. It'd be easier for me to point this way. All right, so right up here, we have this graffiti. Then right down here, we have a reflection of the graffiti. It stays pretty well reflected in the water down here of this graffiti. But as soon as I pan the camera down to try to look at that reflection, you can slowly see that reflection fade away. That is screen space reflection. Now there's other ray tracing effects going on here, and I'm seeing some very soft lighting in the way that lighting does reflect. So like this one right here, this might be some ray tracing. I get this lighting. It's not a screen space reflection, but this could also be baked in. I am getting some lighting flashes here. Again, I don't know. That may not be true example of ray tracing. It seems good. Now I would probably get. See how I get this this lighting source? Like that light would not be wrapping around that pole, so that might be baked in or some kind of planar. Again, not 100% sure. I guess the way that you look at this light right here, I might have been covering it up. So, but you can see over here, this light that's down here would not be wrapping around or going underneath this pole here. But I'm learning. One of the things that I've always tested for ray tracing is just in reflective surfaces, not just surfaces that, well, let me say this again in another way, like water and mirrors, the way that they reflect, or windows have reflection to them. Let's call in a car and look at its reflective surfaces, like this right here. Let's see here. As I walk up to this, that's ray tracing. All these reflections that we're seeing here, that's ray tracing. Everything I'm seeing of this light source right here, you can see that right in there. So that is ray tracing. So I'm getting some things. I'm not getting it all. But the city does look and feel lit. What appears to me to be more natural. Now this is not. So you can see all the screen space reflections in here. You can tell like how it just makes that surface feel more reflective. That's a good example. I mean, I'm not going to be able to do every perfect example because I myself am still learning on how to describe what's going on with the tech. Like that reflection right there. Is that reflecting something over this way? Yeah, see, as I walk up to this, not only is this thing right here, now it'd be nice, again, if V was reflected, but it's reflecting the steps. It's reflecting this something wall. Yep, it's reflecting that. It's reflecting these billboards back here. That it cycles pretty quick. That real water. Actually, that might not be the same. It shifts so quickly, though. But sometimes... Alright, one thing I'm noticing it's not reflecting is the smoke coming out of that AC unit right there. Or at least not that I see. Yeah, maybe not everything. They've certainly got to dial it back a little bit, right? To let the consoles run at, 60 frames per second. Or 40 frames, I think I'm probably at. But I'm certainly getting a different vibe from the way this city looks. Now, I would like to go to Corpo Plaza or Cities. I guess Corpo, yeah, right over there. The ring. And that's those guys over there. Now, whether or not holograms reflect, yeah, you can see here on this this surface right here, this railing, when that light in the background is in the screen, I get that reflection, but if it goes off the screen, that reflection disappears. Yeah. Doo-be-doo. One thing I'm not 100% sure of is if our NPC density changes any. I don't think it does. It was already pretty good on the PlayStation 5. If I have the Cyberpunk 2077 Switch 2 version, and the NPC density is reduced just so that it can run on that platform. They're really trying to push the limits of that platform. Like they're gonna try and put Crimson Desert on the Switch 2. I mean, but still, being able to play some of these larger games on mobile platforms is quite nice. Now I'm curious about reflections on the NPCs. That'll have to be something that I look a little bit closer at. All right, some of these reflections. All right, so we've got reflections there of these NPCs. I would say not the greatest reflections, but then once I slowly start to take portions of them off of the screen, that reflection disappears. Let's cross the street, maybe get run over. But the lighting that is happening on models is still pretty good. Let's see what's going on over here. Like I wasn't even part of this fight. What the heck am I joining for? What am I even fighting for? You're shooting guns, so I'm shooting guns. Alright, I am putting my weapon away. I'm putting my weapon away. I am friendly. I am friendly. I said I was friendly. I did say it. I did say it. I said I was friendly.
You killed him!
No, I didn't. He killed himself. I was not aggressive. He was the aggressor.
You're just gonna sit there forever.
I promise. Remember, I'm a good guy. Should I just create chaos for the NCPD? Then I'll just bottleneck them in here. You're coming through the grate? Telling you, I wasn't gonna be mean. I wasn't. Yeah, frame rate's better than 30. But I think there is also a ray tracing 60 frames, which is probably ray tracing from the PlayStation 5 core, but at 60 frames versus it being 30 frames. Boom. All right, we're at 3 stars. It's actually a really good place to be, the Vikings.
This is all fucked up.
About here, is this a protected area right here? Oh heck yeah! This is a nice protected area.
Shotgun on it, seal the deal.
Maybe they could start lobbing grenades back here.
She got away. Damn.
No, I didn't. I did not get away. I'm here. Come on, come get me. We're still only at 3 stars. Oh dang! When'd you get up there?
Stand down. Give her hell.
4 stars. Music increases.
Shotgun on it, seal the deal. NCPD, motherfucker.
Oh, throwing grenades. Watch out. They're getting a little happy.
Corre, hijo de puta.
Yeah, being able to shoot in combat is much faster than it would have been with ray tracing on the PlayStation 5.
I repeat, officer down.
Yeah, this feels good. Feels good, looks good. Alright, 5 star. Probably gonna get some drop in of max tack at some point, maybe. Maybe. But this isn't a bad spot to be in. To get to have protection on multiple angles. I think I have yet to kill a max tag. Yet. Whoa. Yeah, I don't think I'd be this accurate ray tracing 30 frames. But you can also turn off, make the game a little easier so that you can enjoy the visuals and not worry too much about super accurate. You can also turn on aim assist a little bit higher. A bunch of things you can do to make this game super enjoyable your way. About to run out of shotgun rounds here. And unfortunately, there's no on-site procurement. Alright, we're gonna bail here a little bit. Get in our toy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Max Tac just waiting for me to come outside. Kill some Max Tac. Oh, it's about to blow up. Let's go, go, go. Frame rates are really good with ray tracing. I am impressed. having a great time. Alright, I think we did what we could. Alright, I'm getting a little bit of frame drop in here. There's a lot more going on. Woo! Alright, we've been going for about 40 minutes here. Oh, wow. Yeah, even like the low, like the fog, the haze, the lighting feels different. What is imagine? Approach the stranger. Oh, is this the monk? I think I've done this one before. I'll come back. I'll come back to him. There's still pop-in, but I think that's across all platforms. I don't think the game has ever really been super good at... Yeah, there's some screen space reflection still going on in there. Yeah, that's... See, this right here, I think path tracing, or maybe full ray tracing. Because even though I get awesome reflections on the water surfaces, which we looked at earlier, in here... I don't know why I don't get ray tracing. This is screen space reflection. You can see the reflection in the surfaces below. But, okay, that's weird. Okay, so they give ray tracing effects to this glossy mirror surface that you see. Let's see if I can get this on the screen here. I don't know if you guys are seeing it. Again, let's see if I can put it right there. Alright, so and I'll move my camera over here so I can point at it. But you can see right here, up above is these lights, these double lights up here, right? So 2 rows of lights, and each row of light has 2. Just keep that in mind. Alright, so I'm going to look down, and you can see that in the reflection right down here. Right down here on the surface of the floor at the bottom edge of the screen. You can see that double light reflection. So that's screen space reflection because as I look down, it goes away. Okay, as I'm going to move down. But right here, it's interesting why they choose to give some screen space reflections to some things but not to others. Okay, let me see if I can back up here a little bit. Okay, if you can see right here, there's reflection of those double lights in this glass surface. So I'm still getting it. I'll move kind of side to side. Hopefully that picks up. I'm still getting it in this glossy surface of the flooring. But this up here is screen space reflection. But this down here is ray tracing. And you'll notice that this up here will go away when I look away from the light source and it's not on screen anymore, but this down here persists. So as I look down, see how it starts to fade away from the glossy, shiny floor surface, but if I continue to look down, the image is not on screen anymore, but they give some ray tracing here. Now, this could be 2 things, and I might just be describing this the wrong way. That could be planar reflection. That could be baked in. Who knows? I'm getting a little bit... Well, hold on. Maybe it's a combination of both ray tracing and planar. Because see how I'm getting it in here? But that could also just be baked in. See, I'm getting a little bit of the lighting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to describe what it is I'm seeing. I might have to watch more of Digital Foundry stuff to really get a solid grasp on why I get to see some things. The way those guys talk over there on Digital Foundry, they sometimes say things in certain ways that it's like, wait, what are you talking about? Because they'll show things that work. But see, I'm looking at this, and to me that would be, there's two things going on. There's two parts of screen space and ray tracing working here, and I wish they'd kind of explain that. I'll watch more of their videos, but yeah, see how I get some good screen space reflection there? That looks really good. As soon as it goes off screen, that's screen space. But if I was looking at a shiny surface, like if there was a mirror over here, I'd probably get to see this. What's up, Valentinos? You guys look hostile. You guys aren't going to be hostile, are you? Don't be hostile.
Engaging hostile! Back to head!
Wow, the only thing I have is my shotgun? Oh, jeez. I am not properly armed. Let's go punch mode then. We can do punch mode. I'm modified. I can do this. Oh, was that a police officer? Whoops. That was intentional, not intentional. I promise. Don't talk to anybody. I was able to pick up some shotgun rounds. That's good. That's good. Okay. We've got about 12 minutes, and then we'll call that a good stream. A good first look. I'm gonna start making some more videos on Cyberpunk. Just kind of talking to the community, going over some of the data that I've collected over the last 6 years. And what better time to do that than with the most recent update. I also need to start doing some of my Night City fashion videos that I used to do when Cyberpunk originally launched. Get back into the upgraded photo mode and just kind of go to town on that would be, I think that would be a good return to form. And we'll do some more testing on how different modes of the ray tracing make me feel with how the game runs. It's running pretty damn good though. It feels really nice. It's nice to see Night City this way at a pretty solid frame rate. And I think it's steady at 30. Like it's not going to drop below. I might get 40 every once in a while. Or maybe even consistently. I'm sure down here I'm getting 40, but when I look out here it probably rolls to 30. As I look out there I'm probably getting 30, but it doesn't feel. I've got PSSR, which I think increases, it maintains my frame rate while giving me a higher resolution. I'm gonna have to remember what PSSR stands for, but it does. I mean, it's always looked good, but I'm certainly seeing different lighting in the gun. I'd like to see full ray tracing support. Maybe we'll get that with the PlayStation 6, and I'll be here whenever they update the game again. I feel, though, we're going to get a content update to help bridge the gap between Cyberpunk 2077 and Cyberpunk Orion. I think we're going to get maybe a small mission or some kind of narrative. Maybe the characters that we interact with in Orion, they'll populate it with a mission in Cyberpunk 2077. I would say that's probably going to be a thing, because they've done nothing but give this game love since it was launched. Now, they should have given it all this love before it launched, and then when it launched, everybody would be happier. But I understand there's things that go on with testing, and different testing and quality control entities, external or otherwise, should have more properly communicated. Like down in here, when I am outside of an actual global light source and I'm underneath this large overpass, like what's illuminating this space? Now, I think it would look very different if I was in the PlayStation 5 non-ray tracing. So I think I'm going to play around with that now that I can actually play with it, because I have those options now with PlayStation 5 Pro. So I'm going to come back in here and really take a deep dive. I'm still seeing screen space reflections. I kind of anticipated that because of Digital Foundry's deep dive. Alright, let's try to find a fast travel point. Nope, don't want that one. Let's zoom in a little bit more here. Alright, and then we're going to try to go to maybe my favorite bar, Empathy, and then let's also go take a look at Corpo Plaza. Because there are some pretty epic reflective surfaces there that I'd like to see if they've given those mirrors and whatnot some ray tracing. See, I'm getting ray tracing in the glass, and that looks good. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by other reflective surfaces and lighting here. Alright. This is still... Now I'm wondering if this is planar reflection kind of coupled with some screen space reflection. But if it was path tracing or actual full ray tracing, then when I look down it would still be there. Alright, let's go around this way. Yeah, there's still pop-up. I'd like to see pop-up completely go away if they do a PlayStation 6 update. We're probably going to get the PlayStation 6 in 2027. So very, very soon. But they could also announce it much earlier. See, we're getting ray tracing here. Like, we're able to see everything behind us. All those buildings back there we're getting. Alright, I want to go over there. Let's call a nice vehicle here. Yeah, we'll call the Type 66. Let's go. Let's do it. Also, I think they give the cars... Yeah, they're giving the cars ray tracing. So ray tracing on the reflective surface of the cars, which before I did not get. That looks really good.
You are receiving us at 103.5 radio PEPCAC. Do not change your frequency.
We're getting good ray tracing on the vehicle. See it kind of reflecting there in the mirror. And the windshield. Alright. Alright. I said I was going to do something, so let's do it. We're going to go... Shoot. I missed my turn. Or I was going in the right direction and now I'm going the wrong direction. I'm lurking. Let me check here. I'm lurking chaos in real life. If this is the last stream of the day, have a good night. Alright, Muffin, thanks again for stopping by. I appreciate you taking the time. I hope your chaos in real life is less chaos later. Cheers, mate. I think the only way I'm going to be able to get up there is if I cheat here. We're going to cheat, folks. Sorry, normally I wouldn't do this, but what are you going to do? Alright, now let's call our car in. Ooh, seeing a little clipping going on there. Alright, let's call our car. Hopefully it will spawn nearby. Nope, gotta get it a little bit further away. There it is. Drive to me. Get closer to me, come on. Yeah, I got a little bit of a geometry that I'm noticing there. Clipping through. Oh! Something happened. Alright, now it just kicked me out of the car. That was weird. Okay, well, okay. Somehow, I got teleported back to this guy.
You start to fade. You have no strong roots to this world.
Okay. Alright. Look, everybody. Ray tracing. In the water. Okay, well, because that just happened. Now, I said I'd go to Empathy, and I said I'd go to Corpo Plaza. So, I'm gonna. I was on my way there. I guess I did some crazy stuff with spawning my vehicle. So maybe I deserve what just happened. Yeah, I can feel when it drops down to 30, but it's not a... I mean, maybe even 40. Oh, excuse me, everyone. Excuse me, sorry. Excuse me, sorry. Not sorry. Alright. Let's first go to Empathy, which should be right around here, I thought. No, sorry. Up here. I'm pretty sure Empathy's on this road. So this might be the closest. Where? Okay, let's... Empathy, yeah, right there. That should be Empathy. So, nope. Actually, I lied again. Maybe. Alright, let's just go here. Let's see what happens. Let's just see what happens. Alright, we're going to go here for a couple more minutes. Stay within that sweet spot of an hour. Yep, still screen space reflections there on like the wet surfaces. I don't think it might be over this way. Again, we're trying to get to Empathy. Still got screen space reflections there. Okay, this may be ray tracing, like how I'm getting some good illumination from this sign lighting up the walls. I would probably get, I mean, we do have some lighting there. We'll have to see what it looks like. I guess maybe it could be Empathy. Oops, we'll place our... I guess we automatically do that. Favorite club in Night City? Yeah, it feels softer with the light. But again, I could just be seeing things because that's what I should expect. But I'll do some comparisons. We'll go through looking at the light source. We'll try to come back here at the exact same time. So this is 12:22 a.m. It's really late at night, or very early in the morning, depending on how you look at it. But I'd like to see where there are sort of lighting underneath, like underneath here, this right here, toilet. Is that actually illuminating that up above, or is that a baked-in light? And plus, if we get Cyberpunk Orion on current generation systems, then that should mean that PlayStation 5 Pro will be prepared for that, sort of the way that PlayStation 4 Pro was a bit more prepared for Cyberpunk 2077 when it launched. So we may be at that same instance to where they're trying to make Cyberpunk 2077. I hope they don't, actually. I hope they just make Cyberpunk Orion work on PCs and then wait for the next generation of consoles. If they're making it, again, they've shown The Witcher 4 is probably going to work much better on the PlayStation 4 Pro. PlayStation 5 Pro, but I hope that they don't come into the same issue to where they're trying to make it work for last generation consoles when we're probably not going to get Cyberpunk Orion until 2030. So the PlayStation 6 and Xbox, whatever they're going to call it, like they'll be more proliferated after 3 or 4 years. So again, I'm thinking 2030 or beyond. So just make it for those next consoles. But they'll probably make it work on Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. And if that's true, then I should be ready for that with the PlayStation 5 Pro. But I'll most likely have a PlayStation 6 at the time. Okay, let's get over to our last location. We're going to go into Corpo Plaza and look at that big ring. We're going to be doing a lot more of this. I just have about an hour. We're a little bit over right now by 2 minutes, but I'm going to try to get to our fast travel points. Right here it is. I'm actually right next to an apartment too, aren't I? Alright, we'll go right here. Alright, it's Metro, City Center, should be Arasaka Tower, Downtown Central, Corpo Plaza versus Downtown. Yeah, I've really been having a great time with Crimson Desert. And having the PlayStation 5 Pro has been very helpful in that that game looking its best, or as best it could for a console player. I know PC, you guys got some amazing stuff. All right, let's go up here. There should be some pretty good reflective surfaces up here I'd like to check. See what this looks like. Yeah, I'm starting to see some right in here. See right there, I'm getting soft serve or whatever it is. Where is that at? Oh, right over there. I'm getting soft sys, soft serve. Get your yogurt and electronics at the same place. Yeah, I'm getting that in this right here, which is real good. Yeah, I'd like to at some point get a extremely powerful PC. See, I'm getting ray tracing in here in this floor surface, so that looks really cool. I wish they would have addressed the pop-up. So if I zoom in here, and as I walk forward, the railing here will start to pop in. And I was hoping that that would be something that they would address. Maybe that's something that we'll get with the PlayStation 6. Again, if they decide to update it. See, we're getting all this railing popping in. And I think that's pretty common with all platforms. But it would be nice if I wasn't getting that. Now, again, these reflections look really good. This looks different visually to me. And it just has that kind of a special feel to it. Again, the next stage for me would be to see what path tracing looks like. And I don't think I'd ever get to that point because I'd have to buy a pretty hefty PC. But yeah, just seeing this girl walk over here and then seeing her reflection in that is pretty cool to see. And I'm going to be doing this with a bunch of places that I'm familiar with, and it was like, oh, look at it, look at this. I've always wanted to have screen space reflections here. Now again, sorry, I've always wanted to have screen space. I've always wanted to have ray tracing here where I've only had screen space reflections in the past. Yeah, it would be nice to see a little bit more integration of ray tracing. would path tracing be possible? I think it would. It would just be probably at locked 30 frames per second. I also remember whenever the game originally launched on PlayStation 4 Pro, sometimes these guys would not animate, but I think they were animating. I think I was standing way over there on the street or somewhere where I could see them, and you could see that they were animating, but they weren't in the early years of Cyberpunk 2077 on last generation consoles. Like, they wouldn't animate until you got right up underneath them. Or maybe they would just rotate, but they wouldn't look like they're swimming. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have fun going back through this game again for the updates, and then if they do a PlayStation 6 update, I'm gonna go through it again. I really do adore what CD Projekt RED has continuously done, and that is improve their game. They have faced a challenge that they kind of laid in front of themselves. Again, this is their words. I'm not blaming anything. I just know that they worked hard on it, and it just didn't launch the way they wanted it to. So it's really admirable to see, just like Hello Games did with No Man's Sky, just like any game can. And I'm not saying that we give everybody a pass to go ahead and making your game subpar, but then continue to work on it. I'm sure that they don't want to continuously spend resources, so if they just do it right the first time, they're probably not going to be spending as much money fixing it. They could spend money making it better and adding more content and giving things to their fan base and the community. But yeah, 100% excited to go back through Cyberpunk 2077, go explore Night City all over again. It looks good. I've got a lot more to look at. Again, this is just an initial impression. I've gone back to some of my more popular areas and just kind of looked at them in a different light, if you will. So yeah, it looks good. I'm happy that CD Projekt RED did this. I thank CD Projekt RED. I really appreciate you guys continuing to make Night City a place that feels safe in a dangerous place. But I feel safe in this game knowing that it's being taken care of, and the IP is being taken care of, and it's not just being canceled because it didn't quite do well at the beginning. It's like, you know what? We're not going to abandon this. We're not going to abandon our fans. We're not going to abandon the community. We're going to continue to be one of those industry leaders as they should be. So when Cyberpunk Orion gets closer, and when Witcher 4 starts to get closer to launch, which hopefully will be in the next couple of years, and then maybe shortly after that we get Cyberpunk Orion. We'll see. I'm being very optimistic that we'll get it in 2030, but it's coming fast. It's coming fast. And with as many games as we got out there, folks, like, that time to wait is not going to feel long at all. But everybody's got different access to time. And again, I appreciate you guys being here. If you're watching this on demand, thank you so much. Your time is the most valuable and limited resource you have, so spending some of it, if you made it this far, you spent a lot of it. Spending some of it here is much appreciated, so thank you. I hope to see you guys here again tomorrow. I will be streaming at some point. I'm going to be playing some Marathon, hopefully in the morning, with good friend Eldon. Not going to be streaming that, but I might try to. We'll see if he's up for it. Maybe we can get that working. Been able to get with friends that I met when I was abroad in Japan, and I'm finally kind of getting to where I can meet up with their schedules a little bit more. So it'll be fun to see what happens with those games. I'm playing Baldur's Gate 3 finally. I'm jumping back into Marathon as much as I started to tell myself not to. I'm going to jump back in there because playing it with friends is always better than playing it alone. As much as I want it to be a single-player PvP non-game, I don't want it to be PvP, but all right, I'm rambling now. Thanks so much, guys. I'll see you again soon. Bye.
Implant は常に最新モデルを使いましょう。